Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we have this search bar working with the button and the nice image inside, what we're going to do is work on these tabs now. So these sites and images tabs, which allow us to change the type of the search we're going to do. And what we're going to do is use the same search.php page for both the image search and the site search. And then what we're going to do is specify this type parameter, which will let us know whether to search for images or whether to search for sites. So if you notice, when I click on sites right now, the page is still on search.php. We just have this type value, which tells us whether to use sites or images. And we haven't created this type value yet, but we'll get to that. All right, so go back to search.php, and underneath this header content div, all right, so find the header content div and then find the closing div for that. And an easy way, if you want, is just go to these last two divs, just go above the last two divs, all right, so just here. So again, this is after the header content div. We're just going to create another div in there, and we're going to give this the class equals tabs container, and then inside there, we're going to create an unordered list item, all right? And what that is, it's a UL element, so UL. So this is our unordered list. I'm going to give that the class of tab list, like that. And then inside of an unordered list, you have to do a list item. So make our list item and put the closing li tag on there as well. Inside there, just put sites. And if you want, you can copy and paste that below. And we'll just write images. And if I refresh the page now, you'll see we have two list items, sites and images. And all we need to do is style these with CSS to make it look like this. That's it. But there is one more thing to do. At the moment, when you click on these, nothing happens. So we need to put these inside of a link element, which is an anchor tag, so that when you click on it, it will take you to something. Because at the moment, if you, in our finished site, if you click on it, it should take you to a different URL. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of this second one. So delete this second item, because what we'll do is copy this and paste it when we've done with the first one. So get rid of the text inside there as well. And then inside of the li item, we're going to create an anchor tag, so an a tag. And then all we need to do is specify an href, which is the reference, i.e. the URL you're going to go to when you click on this link. Okay, so what we're going to do though is get rid of these two double quotes. We're going to use single quotes instead. So on your href, make sure you're using single quotes here and not double quotes. And the reason is we're going to put some PHP inside here. Okay, when you use double quotes, you don't have to echo the variable or open any more PHP blocks. You'll see what I mean by that in a minute, but just know we're going to use single quotes here. That'll become clearer to you very soon. So in here, we're going to have the search.php URL, but we're also going to have the search term, because we need to make sure we pass through whatever they've searched for to our new page. So if I click on images, we need to make sure it remembers what they searched for and then take that through to the image search. So we need to get that variable from the URL. And if you remember, right at the start, maybe a couple of videos ago, I shown you how you can get the value from the URL. So right at the top of the page, open up your PHP block and then close it off. And then we can just say term equals $_get square brackets double quotes and just put term in there. And what this does, like I said before, is it just gets the term value from the URL. So now if I refresh the page, you won't see anything, but we do have this term variable. This term variable is set to, in this case, dog. But the problem with this, how we're doing it right now, is if we don't have a value for this, so if we don't have any value, we're going to get this error right here, because we're just saying take the term value from the URL, but at the moment we don't have one. So what we need to do is only take this value if it exists. So if it's set, we take it. If not, we don't. So a real simple way to do that, I'll create some more space, is just use an if statement. And inside there, we're just going to put is set $_get square brackets double quotes term. So we're saying if it's been set, then we're going to take it. So I'm copying that and putting it in there. So if this value in the URL exists, then take it. If it doesn't, we're going to do an else block. And we can just say exit and then just put you must enter search term. And this will do for now, but now if I refresh the page, you'll see when I haven't specified a search term, we get this message and none of the rest of the page is loaded. That's what exit does. Exit says stop executing all the remaining code and display this message. So what you probably want to do is do something a little bit nicer. So maybe when they don't enter anything, we'll just display some nicely styled message saying you must enter a search term or something. But for now, this is good, and we can come back and put that nice formatting in later. All right. So this just means if we get past this code, we definitely have a value inside this search variable. So going back down to here, we need to create this URL now inside this anchor tag. So now I'm going to show you why we use single quotes here. We're going to open a PHP block inside of this link. So we're putting a PHP block inside of this href. I'm going to say echo, and I'm going to use double quotes in here. So this is why we use single quotes here. It's because we want to use double quotes inside of there. We couldn't use single quotes in here, for example, because we already have them here, and it would mean it's going to stop the string right here. So make sure we use double quotes there. The URL we're going to go to is going to be search.php, and then put a question mark, which means we add a parameter to the URL. And we're going to say term equals, and just put your term variable right there. And then put the semicolon after that string, save it, and then before we refresh the page, we need to make sure we put some text inside this link. So I'm just going to put sites like that. And now if I refresh the page, you should see, oh, I need to make sure I have my term, so I can just go back to here. So I have term equals dog now. Let me just refresh the page. So we have this site, and you can see that if I inspect, the URL shows term equals dog. So when we click on this, it will go to this URL. So I'll click on it, and you won't see any change, but you see the URL still has term equals dog. But that's not all we need to do. We need to have the type parameter, because like I said, when you click on one of these, this is the only thing that changes. It's type equals image or type equals site. And this tells us what kind of search we want to do. So after the term part, just put and type equals site, because it's the sites link. And then that's it. What we're going to do though is copy that li, paste it below, and this is going to be the images one. So all we need to do is change this sites to images, and the same thing for here. Change type to images. So refresh the page now. Oh, wrong one. Refresh this page. And you should see we have two sets of links. And I'll show you in here. We have type equals images in the URL. And this one has type equals site. So if I click on this, you'll see type equals images. And if I click on this one, type equals sites. So that's it. That's essentially all we need to do. Of course, we need to style it and do a little bit more. For example, showing which one is active or not. But we can get to that. This is a good start.